What is going on, guys? It is Big Mike here, back today with another SlowBroz podcast, and I'm here with my boy NicZombies. What's up, Nick? How you doing, my dude?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I am pretty excited to get into our second ever podcast because our
Let's
first
go.
our first podcast actually did so much better than I expected. Like, I got over 100 views on my channel, you got about 80 views on your channel, and we almost have 20 views through all of our listening platforms like Spotify and Anchor, and that adds up to over 200 views and listens and stuff. 200 on podcast
200
number
plus?
one.
200 plus world record?
255 soon, bro. 255 soon. I'm telling you.
255. Let's go.
But yeah, I appreciate everybody supporting the podcast, and if you guys want to support us, make sure to go click on those links in this description. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nick's YouTube channel, and make sure to go listen to our podcast too on Spotify and on Anchor. If you just click that Anchor link in the description, it'll take you to our little, like, it's kind of our headquarters for the podcast, and you can click on Spotify or whatever you want and listen from there. And
yeah, you love to see it.
We do love to see it. And also, we are now monetizing our podcasts. We recorded a little promotion that we can put in the start of the video. And if you guys could just listen to that, it's about 30 seconds. It would really support our podcast, help us out. Maybe we can bring some new equipment. Maybe we can hire somebody to make us a overlay for the podcast to make it more enjoyable for you guys. But we will see.
I mean, we did add some Pokemon.
Yeah.
Totodile. I'm a Reshiram.
What made you
I can't
pick
really.
it?
What made me pick Reshiram?
Yeah, why'd you pick Reshiram?
Well, I mean, okay, so I like when I first got into Pokemon, I was like kind of new. I started it with Gen 5. So obviously, like, I'm gonna love the Gen 5. It was just like Reshiram, Zekrom, or like Kyurem was like the main. I was definitely a Reshiram kind of guy.
I think I was too. Wait, yeah. Did you get Reshiram in black?
Yes.
Yeah, you got the opposite color of the Pokemon
in
the game.
Because like so it's like it was like Pokemon Black, like the background's black, but then there's Reshiram, and then there's Pokemon White, the background's white, but Zekrom's on the front.
It's kind of weird though, because on like
like
Soul Silver and Heart Gold,
you get Zekrom in black.
Yeah.
Zekrom in white.
Because like in Soul Silver you would get Lugia, and Heart Gold you would get Ho-Oh. So I mean that makes sense, but
makes sense.
I mean I guess it contrasts more, but I don't really remember the storyline for Black and White. I think it made sense in the end, but
oh yeah,
it's been a while.
They always do go with the storyline.
And for yeah, Nick, what?
No, you go.
Okay. Well, the reason I have Totodile is because when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to play a lot of stuff. You know, I wasn't allowed to play COD or GTA or any of that stuff. I wasn't allowed to have an Xbox. I had a DSi, man. I had a DSi. And one of the first games that I ended up getting was Pokemon Soul Silver, because Soul Silver and Heart Gold had that little Pokewalker thing. Like, it was a little Pokeball looking thing. You would walk around with it. And yeah.
Dude, that's so old.
Yeah, dude. It's like, it was like Pokemon Go before Pokemon Go. And it was,
I feel like a boomer.
it was so cool, and I wanted to get it. And I really didn't know what the hell I was doing, because I'd never heard of Pokemon or played Pokemon at that time. And I just looked at the starters once I got going, and I was like, all right, which one of these looks the coolest? We got Totodile, Cyndaquil, and that leaf, whatever. What is it? Grass type? Not Bayleaf, but do you know what it's called?
Is it not Bayleaf?
No, that's the second evolution. Chikorita. Okay, and nobody fucking likes Chikorita. Chikorita is horrible.
No, that's why we literally forgot its name.
And, you know, Cyndaquil's a homie. You know, Cyndaquil's cool. Yeah. But I love my water types. I've always been a water type guy. Ever since that, I picked Totodile, and ever since then, I picked water types whenever I played. So, you know, here he is. He's got to be my favorite Pokemon. Got to be.
Yeah, he's literally an emo on your Twitch.
Yeah, and I heard there's this guy on Twitch that, like, he named his Twitch account after Totodile.
After Totodile, yeah, that's like baby Totodile, you know. But anyways, that's enough Pokemon talk. This is a zombies podcast at the end of the day. We're not trying to make people run away or at the rip. So we're gonna get right into it. We have two topics we want to talk about. They're both pretty big topics. Firstly, we'll be talking about the Obey Undead RC results. What do we think about the top 50? What do we think about everything? We won't really get into like the talk like we just like about competitive zombies. It'll be more focused on Obey.
Hmm.
And then this is like a little bit late, but we just started this podcast. It's something good we can do. We're gonna be talking about Cold War as a whole, the lead up to Cold War launch, and Cold War now. So I'm looking at Mike's face. You gotta see the disappointment on it. So yeah, we can just go into the abandoned RC results. So it was announced yesterday. We don't know when we're uploading this yet, but so yesterday they announced the top 50. They uploaded it on the YouTube channel,
Hmm.
and I think the first thing I want to go into now. I want to preface this with saying, I have a lot of respect for the people behind Obey Undead. Like genuinely, I'm not just bullshitting that. I know, like a good portion of them. They're seriously all awesome people. They're very hardworking. However, the lead up to this, it was so big, right? So, we're hyping this up as the next thing, and they give out a 2-minute video, and halfway through the video, we just have a bunch of names on the screen.
Yeah, yeah, like leading up to this, we got a bunch of stuff on Twitter, like, oh, announcements coming, and they would have these super cool little zombies videos with some cool music in the background. It's like,
Yeah,
it was
like the
sick,
mystery
man.
box animations, and
Yeah, it was super cool. And I was like, wow, if they have this kind of stuff just for little Twitter announcements, I can imagine this is going to be some sort of nice announcement. Like, I watched the Phase 5 Top 100 video, and like with even 100 people, I know Phase is much bigger than Obey
Mhm,
Undead, but each person, they had like a little, like they showed them on screen, they had some clips from them, they had a name. And obviously I don't expect Obey Undead to do that because that's a lot of work, especially with 50
mhm.
people. But they could have at least like I could have gone into Google Slides and in 5 minutes made a slideshow with the name of somebody and like maybe a picture of their profile picture. Literally anything would have looked better than this cuz
Yeah,
it was just a slide with 50 names on it. Like
yeah. What? uh, Very, very lackluster, honestly. And like, yeah, to your point, that would have also bring like suspense and hype
mhm.
to the video itself for not only the people going for the RC looking for their name, but at the same time, it brings also hype to the people that are supporting the favorite creators going for it. And then so with this, you have Grizzly talking about, oh, appreciate everyone for, go for the RC, stuff like that. Check your emails to like the top 50, but then like halfway through, like while he's talking, you have to just pause the video and find your name, right? Like there's no real fun in that. So there's just not. And I mean, kind of like what Mike was saying, we don't want to compare Obey to fucking FaZe Clan.
Yeah.
Obviously the sizes of both organizations are very different. And also we're not trying to get like, oh, be like FaZe, like stuff like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, this this was just not in my opinion. I know probably not that many people care, but like, yeah, for all the build up to this, this was just very lackluster. Now, hopefully, we can hope that their top are they doing top 25 or
Top
top 20?
25 then top 10. So,
Right.
I mean, at least let's hope at least the top 10 will be something
Yes,
interesting.
the top 10 should be a video slide, or I mean, like, I don't want to compare them to FaZe, but I love the way FaZe is doing this. Right now, FaZe is actually announcing their top 5.
Mhm.
They're doing it one by one every day. That would be sick.
Oh, that's
Imagine
sick.
imagine like a span over 2 weeks. Like you could do it like Monday through Friday for like 2 weeks. You're announcing it like one by one. So you bring that suspense, and it's like when somebody gets announced, the person that gets announced, like, has like that relief and that excitement of, yo, I made Obey and Dead, and the people that follow them, they're like, oh, let's go, they made Obey and Dead. Right now it's just can I find, can see the oh, Big Mike. I found him. Found him. Fourth row. There's Big Mike. Let's go, Big Mike. Let's
Oh,
go.
oh, there's Kooky. There's Kooky. Right there, right there,
Oh,
right there, right there.
Red King.
But I think what you're saying would be super interesting and like suspenseful. But holy shit, if I had to wait for one person per day and I was going for it like I am, I would shit myself. I would be so anxious every day
Yeah.
waking up like, is it me? Am I gonna get picked today? Am I gonna get picked today? I would be miserable, dude. Like maybe for somebody that's not going for it, that'd be interesting. But for somebody that is trying to get in, that's a lot of stress and anxiety there, man. But
Yeah, but like that's the fun in it, dude. I
I
mean, like as like stressful as like it would be, that day you get announced, you're like, yes, let's go. Now, the people that like are waiting, they don't get announced. It feels bad, man. But like also at the same time, if you've made the top 50, like you did good.
mm,
If you make the top 25, you did really good. And you
yeah.
made top 10, obviously you did the best.
Yeah, I guess the gap between top 25 and top 10 isn't that much. Like if you make the 25, you have a very good chance of getting in the top 10.
Yeah.
Like
You have a 10 and 25 chance. Like if we're talking mathematically, 10, 25.
yeah, you have a
That's like
40%
almost a
chance.
yeah.
40% chance, yeah. So, I
That's
mean,
insane.
I'm pretty excited. I'm really curious what they're gonna do with the team because it's a little bit more different than what I expected. I was expecting it to be more like competitive world record based, but from now what I'm seeing, it seems like it's very content creator
Yeah.
based, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think with a team like this, you would need some competitive world record players, but also you're going to want those people that are going to draw more people in with their personalities. Like you can't just have all skilled players and nobody that's just there to entertain. You need a mix of the both. So I think what they're doing is interesting, but we're going to have to wait and see in that top 25 and that top 10, is it going to be still split content creator and competitive player, or is it going to be more competitive players or more content creators?
Yeah. Which I mean can kind of lead us into our next point, excuse me. How like yeah, I mean, I know like a decent portion of people on this top 50, but when it comes to a vast majority, I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that are listening to this podcast and maybe don't know like who's gonna get in or whatnot, we could kind of go over the people we know because I mean, like, yeah, for like Undead, and like we could kind of do something they didn't, but like they didn't go over anyone. Like if you didn't like really know like the scene too well, like you probably don't know anybody on this list at all.
Yeah, because I
Like,
mean, me and Nick are pretty deep in the community. We know a lot of people, at least we thought we did. And seeing this
oh
list,
yeah,
I mean, there's less than 10 people that we like really know. And
yeah. Like I've actually like, well, I mean, if we're talking like people we've like legit talked to,
mhm,
there's like
5.
3, 4, maybe 5. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, the people that I have talked to on this list are, well, I'll include me because like I'm on the list. I've talked to
Mhm.
Joe Met.
Yep.
Um, I've been raided by Earthamon and talked to him a little bit. Stealth, we're pretty close. We're homies. Fat Matt, super chill guy. I've talked to him a good amount. And that's it. Oh, and Kooky, of course. Yeah. So there's
Yeah. 5
five
people.
five people, not including me, that I actually know and have talked to on this list. There's some other names that I recognize that I've seen either in my chat or I've seen them on Twitch. I just don't really know them. But
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. I think that's a good thing, to be honest, that they didn't just pick all the biggest names in the community because people that are smaller can still have a chance. Because I'm sure there are some people on here that we've never heard of that are actually really skilled at zombies. And I think that's important because not everybody's going to have 1,000 follower plus audience. There's plenty of people that are out here grinding zombies every day that don't get the love they deserve because
Yeah.
maybe they just haven't gotten that Twitch RNG yet. Maybe they haven't gotten that lucky raid from Greg FPS or MC, and they're just doing their own thing. Like I know a few people that they have one viewer all the time, and
Yeah.
they're grinding every day, and nothing really makes them less entertaining or less skilled than bigger people. It's just they just haven't gotten to that point yet of growth.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it will be interesting to like see, picked up. And for actual like world record people, I mean, like we were saying, we don't know everyone on this list, but I mean, I can tell you like the people that I know do have like very significant world records.
Hmm.
So we can actually kind of get that into a little bit. A very we kind of like list this as like notable people that we know, but obviously, I'm gonna say this real quick. If there's like anyone listening, if we don't mention somebody's name, that doesn't mean they're not notable. We just don't know them.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. So I'm just gonna talk about the people that between us two, like we've heard of, we know, and we know what records we have. This is not doing any research. So first person that we have is Project Genesis. Um, I heard of his name during BO3, and I think a lot of people have seen his No Jug DE world record. It's not world record anymore, but
Hmm.
it was around 210. That's what I know him for personally. Like I know him for that. Um, and he has another No Jug record on Ascension. Not sure if that's world record or not, and he's currently going for the Cold War world record.
Just the regular
Um,
Cold War world record or the no
yeah,
jug?
just the solo,
Okay,
like
interesting.
like just as like solo high round. But obviously that I'm pretty sure like what's stopping him is like crashes and stuff.
Hmm.
And we only have like a couple more to go through. There's Pumda. I actually just heard of him the other day, because I saw him in my chat. What's interesting about him is he's 100% a Cold War player. If you look at his ZWR page, he doesn't have anything else. But I know he has the 4P world record with Scott, and he also has the Purist world record. Um,
Whoa.
and finally, another noble person that I recognize his name, Daddy Des. I think I butchered that, but I know he has the Cold War High on world record at 595.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that guy. Out of the list that you've talked about so far, I really hadn't heard of Project Genesis, Pumda, or Daddy Dez, but like it does seem like they have some notable records, and you've heard of them before. So,
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, yeah. They definitely have notable records, and like I said, there's probably more people on the list
hmm.
that have noble records. It's just like I'm like yeah, like I just like found these people through like Twitch or like I was searching ZDBR like a couple weeks ago, saw their name or something like that. Like yeah, in Dustin's case, like I didn't recently look it up, but like a few weeks back, I was trying to find the world record and it was 595, and I'm 90% sure it still is, unless it got broken within like the last 3 days.
Yeah, I
I was
haven't
looking
seen
at it.
anything. I think I would have seen a YouTube video, and people are just
Yeah.
crashing and stuff too much. It's at this point, it seems like it's just, are you gonna crash or not? And if you, there's a lot of people that should have world record by now, but I think they've just been crashing. Like Frenzy, he doesn't even
Mm.
have around 500 yet. I think he's just been crashing in the 400 so much, and
Yeah.
that's just not fair. And I think we'll get into that later when we're talking about Cold War, but I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, some people are like, oh, Frenzy's not that good of a player. Frenzy is a really good player, and he's good at just about any game he plays. When it comes to zombies, of course, just about any map he plays. Uh so yeah, he really is capable of the Kohler world record. It's just, he keeps on crashing. He mainly plays on PlayStation. I don't think he plays PC. If he played PC, who knows? He could have had a world record right now. Who knows? Because
I
like,
think
yeah,
he tried
Texas,
everything. I'm pretty sure he tried everything. Like I
did he?
think I saw him on Twitter and he was talking to someone and be like, "Oh, what do you play on? Have you tried blah 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 console?" I think he's like, "Yeah, I've tried everything and I keep crashing."
Hmm.
And I don't
Interesting.
think he's playing like, I think he's playing relatively conservatively too, right?
I
Like
actually believe so.
I
Yeah,
would
no, like
think
I don't think he like tries and like plays fast, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's like slow.
no, but if you aren't spamming, I would think that not spamming chopper gunners or using the die would contribute to a longer crash time. Like your game would be more stable. But I've seen people
Uh,
using that stuff that are like going later and not crashing later than somebody who isn't.
well, I believe the die, the one weapon, is known for crashing your game.
Yeah.
I think like people use that like early in the game. They didn't know. Same
Hmm.
thing with Element Pop, the perk. But yeah, I believe Element Pop, the
Really?
die. crash your game. Yeah, both of them do.
Why would elemental pop? That's weird.
I'm guessing this is like my only guess, like the AAT spam.
So do you think that if you had an AAT on a weapon and you were using it, that would contribute also, or I don't know.
Maybe
That
would
that
quickly give like more entities in a map. Like I don't know.
because no one uses AATs for a legitimate high round attempt. Just a
Oh yeah,
normal. The only way you would have AATs is if you had elemental pop and it's going off when you're shooting your ray gun. But
right. Yeah, most people are mainly using like ray gun and like an LMG.
really, for insta
Yeah,
kills or what?
yeah. I don't
Okay.
know if that's only. I honestly haven't watched too much Soul as of late, but in all co-ops, 2P, 3P, 4P, you use an LMG. And yeah, I mean, you don't even need like I'm watching like people Scott's playing with like Scott himself. They sit in Ring of Fire and then they use the LMG. Like
Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, you could technically use an LMG or a shotgun without the ring of fire because the health cap is so low and the weapons like do a good amount of damage. So I guess even with the ring of fire, it's probably almost like an insta kill with any
yeah,
weapon that's fully upgraded.
yeah, considering with like the zombie health cap and everything.
Yeah, and having a very large mag LMG plus the stock option ability of ring of fire, that sounds like it'd be pretty nice. And I'm assuming it has a lot of overall ammo too.
Oh, LMGs, yeah, easily. All right, so talking about Undead, I mean, we kind of went over everything. They didn't even really give the round 2 challenge yet, which I think is interesting that they're gonna email it to people. I think it would have been more interesting if they announced it at the end of the video and not emailed the participants. But yeah,
Oh.
so Mike and all the other 48 people, not 49, um, yeah, you guys are getting an email.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten an email yet.
Yeah, no.
I've been checking my email. I haven't seen
Greg said
anything
by
yet.
January 1st, and same thing for Grizzly.
That's kind of weird that they're gonna email us the second challenge. I don't know why they wouldn't just
Announce
have
at
it
the end of the
prepared for
video.
this.
That's like the hype and suspense we were talking about. And like imagine, yeah, and Grizzly's like, and for the next challenge, and then you could have done anything. Like you could answer like a basic drum roll or something, and he's like, you do this.
Or he could have even like, if they didn't have it ready yet, they could have been like, for the next challenge, stay tuned for December 30th or something like that when
Yeah,
we'll come out with a new
yeah,
video.
yeah.
Not
All he
just
was like was just, oh yeah,
we'll
we're gonna email
email you
you.
the next challenge, bro.
Oh! Oh man. But so one thing that I want to add on real quick before into Abandoned, because this is like kind of news with Abandoned. We
Mhm,
won't get too much into this, Mike. But so there was actually a dropout for the challenge. One of the people that got into the top 50 backed out of the challenge a week before. And so I found this out because I was just scrolling through Twitter. I saw Greg's tweet and I was just seeing the replies. The
mhm,
top replies on one of like his tweet when like there was a tweet like, oh, good luck to like top 50. The top reply was, what are you gonna do about the person that backed out? So all you gotta do is just click on that tweet and then you'll see what happened. So there's somebody, I'm gonna butcher his name, your Bex TV.
mhm.
They backed out of the challenge about they I'm guessing they obviously like submit like the form, the video, like they made it. You could go check it out on their channel, whatever. Um but yeah, they backed out.
How
I
did
don't
they
know
announce the back out? Like,
what the person.
yeah, like, did she tweet
Um
about it? Did she make a
yeah,
video?
it was tweeted. It was tweeted.
Was
I'm
it
not sure.
tweeted
I don't
at Obey Undead or just
I don't think so.
that would be kind of brain dead
I
if you
want
were
to
dropping out of the
say,
challenge and didn't tell them. I mean,
if I'm not mistaken, I want to say the tweet was something like, "Oh, I actually think I know the tweet." So what happened is I believe she joined another team, and she was like, "Okay, well, I'll be backing out of the Obey Dead. I focus on this." With, I mean, respect to her for joining a new team and then dropping out of the RC, right?
mhm,
If she like joined the team and like was so good for that, that'd be weird, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, no.
Are they gonna fill that spot? Like, if it's 49
Uh,
out of 50 now, are they gonna fill
Greg
this?
tweeted the spot would not be filled. There is now top 49.
Okay, well, one
So
less person to compete against, I guess. But
yeah. So now you have a 1 in 49 chance of making.
oh my god,
Actually,
man.
no, 25 and 40. Your chance went from 50% to like 50
Yes.
something or like a 51%.
Yes.
Good
Okay.
job, Mike. I'm proud of you. Proud
Let's
of you.
go, boys. Let's go. But yeah, that's interesting. But
Yeah, it's really interesting considering that. I mean, obviously, like they want to like check like her. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like when people submit the in the Google Doc, did you have to put your Twitter?
no, I think the Google Doc was just put your email, your name, your screen name, and the link. I think that's all it was. And so I definitely don't blame Greg and Grizzly and MC for
Oh
not
yeah,
noticing, because if she didn't mention them in a tweet, there's no way of them knowing, because I'm sure they don't follow
yeah,
every single person that applied or is getting in, and I'm sure they didn't have time to go to 50 people's Twitters
exactly.
and like, yeah. So
Yeah, no, we're not blaming anyone out of Undead. We're just like give you guys the news that it's actually like a top 49, just in case like anyone's interested. Just like in case like they don't like see her top 25 or like maybe they see like I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Maybe they see one person that makes them like they're like, huh? I don't know.
yeah. All right. And also, I think this would be notable to mention because Greg has a team on Twitch called the Zombies Legends, which is basically it's just a Twitch team that he finds people that have 500 followers, an affiliate, and he'll just invite them to the team. It's I guess to help smaller streamers grow and have more of a community. And there is actually a good amount of people from the Zombies Legends that are in this top 50, and I don't know if that helps out or not. I mean, I assume knowing Greg and like talking to him before and being on his team would contribute to being in this top 50, but the
Oh yeah.
Zombies Legends that are in it that made the top 50, we have me, Joe Met, Dubbed Out, Allied Game, Link T000, J Scrine, Earthamont, and Chaos Basilic.
There's also Kooky. I mean, but like Kookie's like so like notable, like you don't think like for Zombies Legends because like
Mm-hmm.
he's like his own. And also Mike, there's Trip over this 420.
He's an IW player, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw him. I think Stealth rated him or pleasantly the other day, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So if you guys want to go check them out, they're all in Zombies Legends. You can even just go channel, just click the Zombies Legends, and you'll see all what 9 of those names, I believe, 10 including you. Is that 10 including you?
one, two, three, four,
There's,
five,
there- there's
six,
7 on this.
seven, eight.
Kooky Trip over this. You. That's 10.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that's insane. I think everyone that was in Zombies Legends kind of got into the top 50. But then again, I mean, if everyone's like gonna like talk about like friendship, I mean, the people in Zombies Legends do make good content. That's why Greg invited them to the team.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's kind of like oh, I know Greg kind of like like Greg can vouch.
Yeah, for sure. And we were also gonna talk about the top 10 predictions. So Nick, do you have a? I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly 10, but do you have a group of people that you like think for sure are gonna get into this? And don't be biased. I know I'm here, but if you don't think I'm gonna get into the top 10, you don't have to say so.
No. I genuinely think you'll get into the top 10. I think
Mhm.
if you don't get in, one you choked and two you're missing out. All right, but straight up you choked to get top 10.
Yeah.
I don't think I could give 10. I think Kookie's a lock in.
Hmm.
If they don't get Kookie, that's a miss. Try not to be biased. I think Project Genesis. I don't know him at all, but I think like he's such a good player. He also makes pretty good content on Twitch, so I think if they miss on him, that's a loss. Um, you might go for Des because he currently has the Cold War world record, and that's kind of you we can talk about whether that's impressive or not. But that is like a pretty good world record to get, especially considering the amount of eyes that I'll say was on Cold War. I'm not gonna say is, but was.
Yeah.
So yeah, for everyone else, I mean, I know like some of these people personally. I know like a good amount. I'm gonna not try and be biased. Um, yeah, just good luck to everyone in top 50. That's all I can really say.
For me, I'm not even gonna pick that many. The I think out of all these people, the people that I think should certainly be in it, like their skill and stuff is undeniable. I would just say Kooky and Stealth, because Kooky
Yeah,
is probably,
that's all.
yeah, Kooky is one of the best Easter egg players I've ever seen. He is so fast at every map. I've seen him play IW, BO3, and he always and Cold War 2, and he's just an elite player, and he's super entertaining too. Like he always seems to be energetic and talks to chat and always makes it fun. So him, I think he's a for sure pick. And if they don't pick him, bad decision. But Stealth
Oh yeah,
also, Stealth has the Mob of the Dead world record, one of the most loved maps of all time. And also Stealth has the Rave in the Redwoods world record on IW, which he just got about a week or two ago. And he's a really good player, and his streams are probably some of the most chill streams I've ever been to. He kind of just
yeah.
has some chill music playing, plays his high round game, and has this like nice soothing southern voice going on.
Yeah, no,
But
he grinds the game. I missed out on picking him. I honestly didn't see. I have to add stealth. I think he'll make top 10.
yeah, for sure. All right, man. So I think that wraps up our talk on Obey Undead. Do you got anything else you want to talk about for Obey Undead?
No, I mean, last thing we can obviously both add. Good luck to top 50. On not only your next challenge, but if you make that to your final challenge. Um, and tell you one that we didn't mention that we think are either or we think we'll make it. Like I said, like we probably just don't know you. We're rooting for you. Seriously, we'd also get to probably love to know you at some point because we all. But between both of us, like we do love like trying to find people and stuff.
Mhm.
Like honestly, both of us have like literally sat in like calls trying to just find people just chill in their chat.
Yeah, we'll just go in like the BO1 category, BO2, BO3,
Yeah, I
scroll
remember that.
down,
Yeah,
and be like, all right, are there any new people we can find? Any skilled people? Anybody that's just entertaining?
we found
And
some interesting people.
yeah, it's actually it's fun, see some people running stage on Kino. Obviously, the fastest and most effective strat on all of zombies. We all know Syndicate ran stage to 115, the best zombies player to walk the earth, man. The best player.
Oh man, Syndicate. I mean, I don't know who the best player. It's either gotta be like Syndicate or like Lexify, man.
You cut out there. What'd you say?
Syndicate or Mr. T Lexify,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
easily.
Yeah, and also Allier. Allier, man.
Allier,
Allier.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, he makes that one
Allier is the
video.
best Origins player I've ever seen, dude. He got the ray gun, he got an MP40, and he was frying.
Dude, just running those trains over at Gen 5, man, and doing a full map train. Dude, this man Allier, he just comes in when the zombie map comes out. He'll play it for one video and never play it again. He's just that good.
Yep.
He just masters the map in one try, uploads
In
it,
his first
and
try.
never comes back. He's just that good, man. He's just that good.
He's just nice on the sticks, man.
Yeah.
All
Uh,
right, so this will take us into the big boy, Cold War.
oh no.
So like,
Oh no.
where do we should probably start like before Cold War,
Yes, for sure.
not only just the high expectations, but honestly, we could talk about like the zombies community just like as a whole leading into Cold War because the zombies community, over just like this year of like 2020, and like both of us can like vouch for this. So we'll actually back it up to like 2019.
Hmm.
When BO4 ended, zombies was dead. 100%.
In the
Like
toilet, like
in
not
in
just
the
dead, like
toilet.
6 feet under. Like it
Yes.
was bad.
Yeah. Like there were not many zombie streamers on Twitch between like Mike, me, and you
Mitch,
say like what like Mitch legit.
yeah.
We were like 4 of like 10.
There was
So
no one, man. Like back in the day, or I would say 2019, 2018. There. if you were a big zombie streamer on Twitch, like if you were considered having a good following, you had an average of like 5 to 10 viewers. Like 10 viewers
Yep.
was insane. Ten
Yep.
viewers was insane,
I
man.
remember being at like that average for like the longest time. I didn't break like an average of like 15 plus for a month, dude.
There just wasn't enough
Uh,
people watching, and it was actually a really chill time to be in the community. It was fun.
mhm.
I enjoyed it, but opportunities for growth weren't there whatsoever. When there's like 20 people watching BO2 and BO1 and there's only one streamer on at a time usually, it's difficult to grow. Like I didn't hit 1,000 followers for about 2 years, maybe 2 years, something like that, or about a year and a half. And then there's people that started streaming this year that are already at like 3K or 4K. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. But
it's insane. Yeah, so then leading, end of 2019, stuff was pretty dead. Beginning of 2020, stuff was pretty dead. And when things started to kick off was around quarantine. Quarantine was probably one of the reasons why like zombies got like revived.
mhm.
I think another thing like I want to test to this is that I know like at least like on like the Twitch side of things, Lex was like starting to stream like a lot on Twitch, and that definitely did help us. That brought a bunch of new people to Twitch that like didn't even have Twitch accounts. We can even name some of our own viewers that like didn't have Twitch accounts still this year when like Lex came over.
Yeah, there are a
Uh,
lot of new Twitch viewers this year, I would say. Yeah, I think you're right. Lex could be one of the main reasons why a lot of new people found Twitch and found the zombies community on Twitch. So I guess I really never thought of it like that, because I guess he did come to Twitch relatively recently. Like he hasn't always been a big Twitch streamer. And then
yeah.
this year he was streaming almost every day, it seemed like,
Yeah,
playing.
a decently good like amount. He didn't play like an insane amount, but like yeah, he probably streamed like every other day, and
Mhm.
he had like around like 100 hours streamed per month, which is like a decent amount, nothing crazy, but you're grinding the Twitch streams, so that brought like a lot of new people in. That was kind of when like Easter egg speed runs weren't like really take off. Like some were like I know like Yoma was going off at the time, but like
Yeah.
this was when like high rounds were going off. Like this was when like MC was popping.
Mhm.
I was even popping a little bit.
A lot of people
A
were playing
lot of
BO3
people,
round 100s.
yeah,
Lex
yeah.
was doing it with like the megas, but there were other people like Nick. I always saw him. Saw him playing Origins a lot. Oh, it was the round 100 Easter egg. That was a huge thing. People would get to round
Oh
100 and
yeah,
finish the Easter egg,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah. I remember that. I remember that. That was so.
yeah, that was cool. I think that was kind of where the zombies community kicked off again. Like obviously
Yeah,
there were always people streaming BO1 and BO2 and BO3, but there wasn't a huge audience for them. Like the community was still there and there were a bunch of people in the competitive community, but there weren't many casual players and viewers that were watching. It was a small percentage.
yeah,
And now, or later in the year, I would say in summer, it had died down a little bit compared to the start of quarantine, but there
yeah,
were still many people that were usually casual viewers that were coming into Easter egg speedrunning streams, high round streams, asking a lot of questions, learning a lot, and everybody was growing. Everybody boomed this year, man. Like I
yeah.
went from about 1K to I'm at 4.4K right now. Nick went from something to like what, 3K, or how many did
I
you have?
went from beginning of the year, I probably like around 500. I went to 4.3K. Career in the dirt. Slowly worked my way back up to 4.4K.
Yeah, everybody who doesn't know, Nick got follow botted, so he went onto the website where you can delete all the bots. Like, oh, from if let's say you got follow botted today, I'll set it for the start time 8 a.m. this morning, the
Yep.
end time now, and you select all those and click like block
Filter,
and
you
remove.
click filter. I clicked filter and it still killed me, bro.
Did you go back to zero
No,
or
no, 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 no. I'm a shot master now. No,
That was fun.
for it was just like going down. It was going down. For whatever reason, nobody in my chat mentioned the follower count. And then someone, I actually think Yomo was in my chat. He was like, "Yo, you're under 1K." I'm like, "Fuck." So I just closed the browser, and that kind of saved it. Me closing the browser saved it.
Oh yeah, I guess because it takes a while. It's not like instantly it deletes all the followers. It goes kind of one
Yeah.
by one, but very
Yeah,
fast.
exactly. Yeah, I was just watching number because I was
Oh my
4K,
god.
low 4K, high
Dude, I can't
3K,
imagine. I
low
would
3K. Dude, the stress I was going in that moment.
I can't imagine, dude. And the thing is, I was like,
Anxiety.
where the fuck is Nick? Where is Nick? I was like, why hasn't Nick streamed in a while? I haven't been able to see his streams. And then I go type in NicZombies on Twitch and I'm like, I'm not following. So I go in there and I ask him, I'm like, I accidentally unfollowed you. I think you were playing Verruct on BO3. And yeah, you told me about how you lost all your followers. It's just but you
Yeah.
somehow managed to, even by losing all those followers, you still are back with 4.3k right now or what?
4.4K.
4.4k. I think you passed me up. I think you passed me up twice, dude.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, I mean, to that, I mean, like I've always streamed BO3. BO3 is just like a more popular game compared to like you mainly play BO1,
Mhm.
BO2. That like yeah, BO3 is just more popular. That's just undeniable.
Yeah.
Whether it's better or not, who knows? But a lot of people love watching BO3. So yeah, back onto the track of Cold War. The summer, it was still popping, but died down a little bit. I know Mike was popping up with his Ascension 255 or no GG,
The peak of my channel.
the peak of your channel. And then leading to like the fall, for some of us, like it died out like a little bit. I know Mike was kind of dying in the fall, but the Easter egg speed runs were
Dude.
popping.
Oh my
Mikey
god.
blew up. Shane was doing pretty good. Kooky was doing really good. Acid was doing
It was
insane.
crazy because
Yeah.
before that, Easter egg speedruns were pretty small, and Mikey, one of the like best Easter egg speedrunners overall, he would get maybe like 5 viewers or something. When he got the Origins solo world record on BO2, he had about like I think a 5 viewer average. And then after getting that world record, his views went up a little bit. And then once he moved over to BO3 eggs and started playing a lot of BO3 eggs, he managed to get about 50 viewers or so. And then he started doing the super egg, which is all of the Black Ops 3 eggs in a row. He would do super egg megas and he's very good at it. He was starting to get like 80 to 100 plus. And
He
this
even had like some streams where he averaged like 120 plus.
yeah, and he was very close to partnership average. And this was something that we saw across a lot of people. A lot of people were doing extremely well off Easter egg speedruns that weren't doing very well before. And this might be because of someone like Noah, which we don't think about a lot because Noah usually just plays casually, does these little challenges, custom apps and stuff. But Noah started reacting to a lot of Easter egg speedruns, and so did the Smith Plays and Lex. They would watch these Easter egg speedruns, commentate over them a little bit, and they got a lot of views. Like YouTube Zombies was primarily reactions for a while,
Oh yeah.
and because of this, they would leave the link in the description. I mean, not that many people would go and follow, but it kind of contributed to the hype of Easter egg speedruns. And if you were browsing on Twitch and you saw this Mikey name or Kooky or Scotty Dogs 007, and you're like, oh, I saw this guy in a Noah video and a Pat video. Let me go check him out. And
Yep.
then that adds to the viewer count. And the higher the viewer count is, the higher up they are in the category and more people see them. And it's kind of just a cycle of growth there. And it ended up just Easter egg speedrunning just blew up in the community more than we've ever seen before. Before, high rounds were the thing. Everybody watched high rounds, challenges, all that kind of stuff. And then now, or before Cold War, it was Easter egg speedruns, which was very interesting for me to see.
Yeah, you really just love to see it. And then so for everyone listening to this wondering, why are we talking about before Cold War? The reason why we're talking about this before Cold, two things. Number one, I think the competitive scene was like not the highest it can be, but it was probably at one of its peaks, right?
Mhm.
Between the Easter egg speedrunnings, the high rounds, and two, viewership was at an all-time high. So like most of us streamers like we're sitting here like, oh my god, look at this viewership on a 5-year-old game. Imagine when Cold War comes out, right? That's like what we're thinking. Obviously, with like Cold War, there was oversaturation at the beginning, right? But I mean, yeah, a lot of like us streamers, we had high hopes, just not only as streamers, but also just a lot of us in zombies communities has high hopes because like there's a ton of people looking at zombies. Treyarch knew that. Treyarch knew, okay, zombies communities at a pretty good spot right now. Not
Mhm.
its peak, but a pretty good spot. So yeah, Cold War, high expectations, communities on a high. Let's fucking do this. Launch day comes. What do we want to talk about first when it comes to launch?
So I would say this had to be the biggest zombies launch ever. Even though
Yeah.
there wasn't like too much
Not
content.
content wise, not
Yeah,
content wise. Like
l- there was one
people
map.
playing.
Yeah, there was one map compared to Black Ops 4 that had four maps. Black Ops 3 had Shadows of Evil and the Giant, and Black Ops 2 had like Transit and all those maps within Transit.
Mhm.
And so this was very little content compared to other games, but we had never seen so many big creators play zombies before. We saw Tifu, one of the biggest names in the gaming industry right now, play Cold War Zombies with one of the boys, MC Zombie Slayer, who we're all familiar with. We all watch, and he's a name in the zombies community. He's not massive. He had like 30K or something on Twitch, but he was known. Everybody knew him. And just the fact that somebody with millions and millions of viewers and subscribers and followers played with somebody so small in the zombies community, that just showed how big this game was. It really caused people who had never played zombies before to play zombies. Big creators who usually don't switch games too much to switch and play zombies for a while, like FaZe Blaze, who was going for, like, these people were going for world records too. It wasn't like they were just going on casually and playing for
Yeah.
like an hour. They were trying to go for world records. And it was really interesting to see. And it seemed to be super successful. But at the same time, while it was super successful, people like me and Nick, like, if you aren't big, you aren't growing. Because there are so many
Oh.
people playing, because there are so many people playing that were bigger, we have what? Wait, what?
What?
What are you
I'm
doing?
scrolling,
Oh
scroll.
yeah.
If you want to buy, you gotta keep
You
her going, keep her going.
you gotta be a big boy if you want views on Cold War. Me, before Cold War, I wasn't doing super well. I kind of died a little bit before Cold War, but I had about like 20, 30 viewers, about 20 to 30 viewers average before Cold War. When Cold War came out, I could barely get 10 viewers playing the game. 10 viewers when I'm used to
Yeah.
getting about 30. So this was very like demotivating. It made me not want to play the game. But small creators just could not grow off of it. There's too many big people playing and too many people watching. They're like, what are the chances that somebody's going to scroll down and find us all the way at the bottom? They're low. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that, Nick? Like, did you see any success from Cold War at all? Or
Not much, man. Not much. Yeah, like most of like my streams, like before Cold War came out, I was at around like a 50 to 60 average,
mm-hmm,
doing pretty
mm-hmm.
good in all honesty. And then yeah, your boy was dropping to like 30s, sometimes 20s. I was like, oh no, oh no, Culver's just not it. And then like yeah, like what's crazy? It's like not many small people grew off Cold War. Like I mean, okay, and by small, I mean like 100 plus viewers is really good,
Mm-hmm.
but in the grand scheme of things, that's small, right? So I'm talking about like those people. I can only name you a handful of people. I can name you MC. MC popped off.
Like,
What's crazy about MC is that he already went back to his old average. We'll probably get into that at
yeah, we
some
will.
later. And the only person I can name, because I did like a little bit of research into him like a few weeks back, the guy FaZe Blaze was playing with, Ghosty TV.
Hmm.
He was actually a zombie streamer before. Like he was actually playing like BO3 Customs. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah. So what happened is that this Ghosty guy, he was playing like BO3 Customs. I don't know what his average was. If I had to guess, it was like 10. And then
Oh,
yeah, like
that's small? Like,
yeah, like he was small.
wow. How did
Yeah,
FaZe
like
Blaze find him?
we were bigger than him at one point, Mike. And then yeah, it's like Cold War. I don't know what kind of conversation happened between him and FaZe Blaze, but like FaZe Blaze, I guess maybe like have Ghosty, or maybe Ghosty was like, "Yo, FaZe Blaze, I've been playing zombies for a year. Hit me up." And then they were playing Cold War, and then Ghosty now gets like, well, I don't know what he gets right now in this moment, but like a couple weeks back when he was grinding, he was like 400 plus viewers, 300 or so, like around there, bunch of subs, like he popped off. But yeah,
That's
those are the only
crazy.
two people I can name.
But yeah, it's insane. MC went from about 100 average to, for a short period of time, like consistently in his stream, he had 1,000 plus viewers. And he, like, there was a point where being an MC stream was like being in like a
Like
Lex
Lexus,
stream. Yeah,
yes,
the chat was just going and going, and there were constant, like, subs were going off like follows. Like, I just saw subscribe with Twitch Prime, subscribe with Twitch Prime, and it was just going through the chat, and I had never seen something like that before on a small zombie streamer stream. It was crazy. And like, this all had us very excited for the future of Cold War, because at this point, yeah, we weren't doing well as small streamers, but we saw that people like MC were doing well, and we were thinking, oh, once these super big creators stop playing, we'll have more of an opportunity to grow. So hopefully, maybe in about a few weeks or maybe a month or something like that, we'll be able to grow out this game. You know, like, we like this game right now. It's super fun. It's got potential, and a lot of people want to watch it. But we were very, very wrong, because,
yeah.
like, our most, like, our one hope, MC, from our community, who went from averaging 100 to 1,000, and then a few weeks later he was back down to 100 again, and that is
Yeah.
a huge decrease, and we can't.
Well, I mean, okay, I want to add real quick, not to
Mhm.
cut you off. My
No, you're good.
apologies. But so he did have streams where like yeah, like if I was that was his average though. If you look like his stuff, his peak like average was like 500.
But he had like 3,000 viewers for a while, and
Okay,
2,000 and
well, one stream
1,000.
he got hosted by Lex, so
Okay.
that really does help.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did have he got 1,000 viewers,
Hmm.
but that was his average. Like I'm only mentioning this because like I don't want you like make it seem like MC just like went from like super big created like dead
Yeah, I
like
guess so. So 500,
like
we'll say.
he went up a lot. Yeah, 500. It was like 500 was his like peak average of like weekly,
Hmm. Okay. So
but that's
yeah,
still a significant decrease. 500.
500 to 100, it's a pretty sharp decrease. Um but
Happened so quick.
and it was fast too. Like, it wasn't some gradual decrease. Like, this, it, I guess people lost interest in Cold War really fast, and a lot of people just didn't enjoy watching the game anymore. Like me, I, as much as I love a streamer, like, I love watching Nick, but I'm sorry, I cannot sit through more than like 20-30 minutes of Cold War. Like, I
Yeah,
just can't. I don't know what it is. Just the map does not interest me.
the map's just boring to look at now.
Yeah, it was cool at first. It was really exciting. There's a lot of hype on the launch, but it died. And there's some reasons for that. But you want to go into, Nick, what we can talk about why casuals liked the game, or what casuals liked about the game, and what competitive players disliked about the game at the start.
Well, yeah. Well, this is kind of like what like got like a lot of people to like Cold War Zombies off launch
Hmm.
was just like how easy it was.
Yeah.
And like, like the higher on strats, we can also admit the higher on strat is brain dead easy. I hate to use that word, but it's true. It's true. It's a brain dead easy strat. Anyone can use it. Like we're watching people, well, watched people like FaZe Blaze do it, and this isn't necessarily a knock to FaZe Blaze, but FaZe Blaze has never played zombies.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure now. I'm just now thinking about it. I think there's a video in the past on like Jev's channel of like Jev, Blaze, and like a couple other FaZe members playing like Mob of the Dead on BO2, and like they were trying to get to like round 20.
Yeah.
So what went from FaZe Blaze getting round 20 on Mob to FaZe Blaze getting a
300.
402 player 2P?
400? He got
Yeah,
400.
he's 400.
Bro, what the fuck?
Like what? You can't tell me. Oh, FaZe Blaze grinded zombies. He's just the best player now. No,
No, that's
it's
that's
it's it's the high round strat
the yeah,
and the camping strat.
Treyarch did this on purpose, and it was smart. But if they're gonna do something like that to make the game this easy, like they need to bring out more content. You can't make the game this easy and not release more content for it because people are gonna get bored. No matter how satisfying it is to see round 100, round 200, and anybody can do it. It just after a while, sitting in a corner spamming your ray gun is just gonna get boring, and people are gonna
Mhm.
stop playing. And that gets into like the competitive perspective a little bit. A lot of competitive players did not like Cold War from the start because it was too easy. Because getting to high rounds wasn't necessarily it didn't show your skill, it showed how much patience you had, how much time you wanted to put in. And the certain mechanics in Cold War also discouraged them from playing. Like the health cap on round 40 something basically means that you can camp and you can just sit there. You can buy ammo infinitely with a ray gun, and there's no reason to run a strat that actually requires more skill. And also, the zombies hitting mechanics, the zombies hit you incredibly fast in this game, and on higher rounds they do more damage to you. You're not going to want to train. Like, why would you train and do something else when you can just sit in a corner and get to high rounds fast and easy? So just that altogether, combined with unlimited revives and the repetitive nature of the game and the fact that people would crash, it just made it so competitive people did not want to play the game. A lot of people didn't give it a chance in the first place because like it was a new game and they liked their game that they play, but the ones who did give it a chance, like me and Nick and some others, they just didn't enjoy the mechanics, and that's unfortunate. But that's also such a small portion of the community, the competitive side. So this really didn't apply to the audience that Treyarch was looking for. They were looking for the majority of zombies players, not the small percentage, the small chunk of people that go for world records and high rounds already.
Right. But what I think we can take into this. So this is like my will. So the game being easy and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that brought a lot of people into zombies. It's
Yes.
just so easy. But then when it gets too easy, when everyone can do it, it's just like, oh, this is boring and all that stuff. Which is this kind of brings us to like the competitive side. Like this game, there was like a competitive nature around it due
Mm-hmm.
to like competition, but like the game itself wasn't necessarily competitive. It was really brain dead easy.
Just a lot
And
of
I
people were playing it, so there was
right.
competition. Yeah.
Yeah, and this doesn't necessarily apply to zombies, but this applies to like many big games. You look at like a game, you'll get into it for like whatever reason, but you stick around for it due to the competitive side of the game and
Mm-hmm.
how just like fun that is and how difficult that game can be at a competitive level. When the competitive level is not necessarily who's the better player, but just who can crash at a later round. That's not competitive. That's just RNG. Like, there's no competitive nature to that. Like people going for the high round. As long as you're like decently enough skilled, I think anyone that like within like the top, I don't know how many players. Honestly, I'll throw out a number. Let's say like top like 500, right? I think like the top 500 zombies player, whoever you think those are, all of them are capable of world record. I don't think it comes
Yes.
down to skill. I think it comes down to just who crashes later. And this is the only game I could say that for. You can maybe say it for BO4, but BO4 you don't really crash. Like BO4 is just like, I guess, how quick until you get bored.
I just
But
think there weren't enough people playing BO4 for it to be completely optimized, probably. So
oh, true.
I think if the amount of people that played Cold War played BO4, it would have been similar, but not as brain dead easy. Because BO4, you can't just buy infinite ammo on all the maps. I know you can on like what Dead of the Night, like you can buy ammo.
By like Helion Salvo ammo.
Yeah, but the other
Yeah,
maps you
Dead
can't
Knight.
just infinitely spam the
Right.
weapon that's gonna kill.
You have to be like somewhat conservative, which like it doesn't lead to just like brain dead spam like
Hmm.
Cold War does. Cold War, you just spam ray, pop ring, spam ray, pop ring, spam ray. Like, that's literally what it is.
And the super sprinters too add a little bit of difficulty, I would say, into BO4 because those zombies sprint fast. Like if you make a little mistake, you are going to down. Like if you get hit once or twice, or if you get hit like twice, you're generally going to down. If you get trapped in a corner, it's gonna be difficult to get out of there on BO4. But with Cold War, you could just pop a ring of fire and you would have a good chance of getting out there, possibly, or pop your chopper gunner, and you're instantly gone.
Wait, so is that are there super sprays at BO4? Has it been that long since I played?
Yeah, I believe the BO4 zombies in the high round sprint freakishly fast. Like, have you seen Blood of the Dead? Like Blood of the Dead when they're in that room with that trap, the zombies
They
are
sprint
going
fast?
like
Is that
this.
not just normal speed?
No, like compared to BO3 and BO2, no. Um,
Uh,
like you'll be sitting there at the trap while it's going off, and you can see the zombies like hauling ass through the room. And I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure they're super sprinters. I could be wrong. But
right. Yeah, no, it might actually have been that long since I've played or watched BO4 that I just super sprinters. And also Cold War, there's like super
yeah,
sprinters.
they
they
are.
just they just haul ass.
But at
But
least like you can kill them easily, like with the ray gun,
oh yeah.
and pop the ring of fire to defend yourself, and ether shroud. There's just a lot of ways to
But that's the
avoid.
thing, we don't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like super sprinters, if you're gonna have them like in the game, they shouldn't be like that quick. Tone them down just like a little bit so we can make like training a strategy. And this is something we can lead into. It's like what what would have made this game like more competitive? Because like I think like if this game was like more competitive, just like the nature of the game, not necessarily like the people playing it, like it could have lasted a little bit longer. So
Mm.
I
I
mean,
I think it's
like what you probably
difficult.
change super sprinters. I mean, because like I think firstly, camping strats. I understand them. I understand like why it's like to play fast and stuff.
Mhm.
But training strats are definitely more entertaining.
Yeah,
Like 100% and
and
add
skillful.
way more skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would it's very difficult because I wouldn't expect Treyarch to make a decision like this because what they did was best. So let's say let's not consider the fact that they didn't release any more content. Let's just talk about the
The
mechanics of the
core,
game.
yeah, mechanics.
Making the game easy and accessible for everyone to play was a smart move financially by Treyarch. And it made the game competitive because everybody was able to play it. And it wasn't necessarily competitive because the game was difficult, like you said, but it was competitive because a lot of people were playing it. And the more people playing it, the more competition there's going to be. So I think if they made the game difficult, or at least more difficult, they wouldn't have as many people playing it. And I still think a lot of the hardcore zombies players wouldn't want to play it because they're stubborn and don't want to try out a new game. So I think Treyarch's kind
That's
of in a
true.
shitty spot. They're kind of in a shitty spot. And if you make the game too hard, people aren't going to play it. If you make the game too easy, a lot of people are going to play it, but it's going to get boring. And you just got to find that middle ground. Like, it's got to be more difficult than, like, I don't even know at this point. Like, was BO4 a good difficulty? Because most people don't like BO4.
No.
But
I,
if you made it more difficult than BO4, I can guarantee you the amount of people that played Zombies this year would not have played it. Because I'm sure if Tfue played BO4, he would not do nearly as well as if he played um, Cold
Cold War.
War. But that also could be contributed to or attributed to the fact that Cold War has a very simple setup. And most other zombies maps like BO3 and BO4, you need to look up a guide to do this, build a shield, build the wonder weapon, do part of the Easter egg. But Cold War, you just got a ray gun and camped. So I think that's actually smart. I think maybe the difficulty aspect, I think maybe they could increase the difficulty and the game could still be successful as long as the setup was simple enough for anybody to play.
Yeah.
That may be the
Well,
important part, not necessarily difficulty.
yeah, no, like I'm thinking about it now. Like, I mean, like, yeah, you're talking about difficult, but then, like, yeah, you're bringing that point to mechanics. Imagine if you had the Cold War mechanics, and then you took a little bit of the BO3 mechanics. Like, that's that's a. I think honestly, objectively, not just personally, I think BO3 is probably our best middle ground. I'm not saying
Yes.
it's the best it can be, but just the
No, I
best
would
middle
agree
ground,
100%. I think
right?
BO3 is a good middle ground between um
Casual and like super hardcore.
yeah, BO3 was the peak of I think it appealed to
Zombies.
hardcore players and casual players. It had options for no gums classics and megas. Different little categories like no AATs that could add a challenge. You could play no jug, no perks, and just yeah, but the only problem with BO3 though is the setup was definitely not casual. I can tell you that every BO3 map besides the giant would not be successful to the majority of video game players due to the fact that you have to do so many things to just get to a high round in the game. I think it appeals to zombies players, but I don't think we're gonna grab in Tfue or somebody like that to get into the game if they have to go to YouTube, look up how to build the shield, look up how to get Pack-a-Punch enabled, look up how to do half the Easter egg and take an like 30 minutes or an hour to set up on ZNS to just get to round 50 and die in the skull room because it's difficult.
Yeah. Well, so that's like what's like gonna go to my next point. So let's take BO3. I'm gonna change a couple things,
Okay.
and you tell me your thoughts. So
Okay.
you take out the shield system and you put in the Cold War armor system.
Okay.
You take one weapon quest and you just throw them in the box.
Okay.
And then I guess the only thing else I'm thinking in my head is take out. I don't. I mean, well, obviously, like in our eyes, like getting pack punch like BO3 is like not hard, but maybe it's like some for others. You take out that, and then
So
well,
simplify
no, well, no.
Pack-a-Punch a little bit.
Honestly, what you add, oh yeah, either simplify a little bit, or add the Cold War mechanic where it tells you what the fuck to do in the game.
Yeah, that's
That
smart.
you go turn on power, you go turn on these two buttons, activate the anomaly. You could have done that. Like,
Yeah.
okay, imagine GK, go to power. You get like a drop. You pick up the drop, go to the button at the top, and then
Yeah,
go to the drop
GK
module.
GK was very simple for Pack-a-Punch if you knew what you're doing. If it told you,
Oh yeah,
go place this thing at this location and then go get kills. Go place this thing at there, get kills. I think yeah, that's a really smart idea. So if you combined certain Cold War mechanics with some BO3 mechanics, we're saying armor from Cold War.
put one
Um
weapons in mystery box and
okay.
add the Cold War system where it tells you what the fuck to do at the beginning of the game.
Okay. Pack-a-Punch quest, or like
Yeah,
a
yeah, we call it
Pack-a-Punch
that. Quest.
Pack-a-Punch quest with instructions rather than just like guessing what to do. Okay.
You
Then
literally have Cold War mechanics with the BO3 gameplay. It, that's like
hmm.
the best you can get for casuals, I would say.
Yeah, with the BO3 AATs, I think although BO3 AATs were overpowered, I would 1,000,000% prefer that to sitting in a
Ray
corner with a ray gun.
gun.
And
Yeah.
I can imagine if there was And I think the health cap is a huge thing too. Like I know Treyarch wanted to make every gun viable for high rounds, but it's just not. Nobody uses the every gun anyway. Like if you're gonna,
Yeah,
the point was to make every gun viable, but the only gun that people are using is the ray gun anyway. So I think the health cap is pointless. Maybe you should just have an infinite damage wonder weapon and use the ray gun for early rounds or something like that.
no, that would be awesome. Those are like some of my just like favorites as like, BO1. Like, like low rounds, you'll have like a good ray gun, a ray gun that actually does something compared to
Mm-hmm.
BO3 and BO4, right? So, and then you have a wonder weapon that's not only fun to use, but it can, in most scenarios, unique to the map. D Machine doesn't really feel any like uniqueness. It just kind of feels like a zombies map
Yeah.
because it's just ray gun spam. Like imagine if like like the actual like die upgrades, one didn't crash your fucking game, and two were good.
Yeah,
Like
like
imagine like bows.
the die was cool. Like I'm gonna say the die and the upgrades are cool. They're interesting. But they're not really viable to just use them for high rounds. They're used in like in unison with the ray gun, like if you use the die for insta kills or something, but you can't just use it by itself. It's not like a thunder gun. It's not like a wonder waff or anything like that. It's just a little cool addition. I think it contributes more to the Easter egg than anything else. I think the die is cool for the Easter egg, but for high rounds, it just it's there. Nobody uses it. It's kind of pointless.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like I said, the whole crashing thing doesn't really help. But like, assuming if you didn't crash with it,
Yeah,
it'd be pretty fun to use.
yeah. I'm sure if it didn't cause crashes, people would probably find some way to integrate it into the strat for speed purposes. I know MC for a while was spamming the die in that spot,
Not
and
afraid to die,
it
and
was
then
it's
and
really
stuff.
effective. It's really effective actually.
Yeah.
2 shots to kill, and you have like 4 shots basically, and then that should regen your ring of fire most of the time and suck in the zombies with the ring of fire, get that regen, then switch to the ray
Oh,
gun.
that, yeah.
That was really effective, and I liked using the die there.
Yeah.
But
And it was kind of more fun than just ray gun spam.
yeah, ray gun spam just is very monotonous and just very repetitive, and even for a casual player who is satisfied by seeing round 100, I can guarantee you that just sitting there spamming a ray gun all day is not going to be very fun. It just isn't. They're going to have more fun playing with friends. I think playing with friends
Mhm.
on Cold War is still fun. Like there's still
Oh, yeah.
enjoyment in playing with friends, but playing solo on Cold War is it's dead. You don't really see many people
Residentially.
doing it anymore. Honestly, even Frenzy gave up because of all the crashes. Like they blew it, man. Like they had so much potential. I even think with the game the way it is right now with all those mechanics, it could have succeeded. But that brings us into our next point. Season 1. Not giving us another map for season 1 just murdered the game. It just murdered it. And I don't know, Nick, you were still playing at the time season 1 came out and a little bit after. So how do you feel about it? I stopped playing about like a week or two in, so I don't really have a good perspective on it.
Well, I played season one for one reason only,
Mm-hmm.
fucking levels. And that's not necessarily because, oh, zombies is good. See, I've always been somebody with Call that loves getting Prestige Master. As fucking casual as that sounds, I fucking love it. All right. So it's like, yeah, get a Prestige Master, like customize your icons. A lot of people make fun of that, but I like it for whatever the reason is.
No, that makes
And
sense.
so I got that, and then I kind of stopped. that yeah,
Like
because like yeah, there's nothing else to play. There's literally nothing else to play for. Literally nothing. What's kind of cool is like what like something that's like got like me to play core like a little bit more than like I would have is one the camos
mm-hmm.
going for Dark Ether. It's a really good camo, and then every single time I play Cold War, no matter how often or how frequent or infrequent it is, I get to use that sick camo. And on top of that, like going for like random like calling cards and stuff, like I mean, it just gives you something to do, right? It's like if you're, I'm not necessarily like a completionist, but Cold War kind of made me a completionist because just I need fucking shit to do because
But
there's nothing on the damn game.
can
But I
you?
mean, to your point, pardon?
I was gonna say, can you imagine? So doing grinding Dark Ether. I mean, there's some like satisfaction in completing it, but can you imagine being able to grind Dark Ether on 2 maps instead of just one? Like, I
Oh
think
yeah,
just
that would
having
make it more fun.
literally anything, just a small survival map or something else to grind Dark Ether on would just make it 10 times more fun. And they really didn't even need to put that much work into it. They could have just brought out something that would let us do Dark Ether camo grind without just running a circle and spawn shooting a weapon, which doing that over and over and over for
Makes it
hours
more
with different
effective.
weapons is just not enjoyable.
Yeah, so I actually went for BO4 Dark Matter, and BO4, I would say as a core was probably worse of a game than Cold War. But
Mm-hmm.
however, that was definitely more fun to go for because I mean, it kind of comes down to like it's like the four maps, but so like going for I'll tell you like what I did. Going for like the headshots and stuff. That was like the main thing. I
Mm-hmm.
like playing Blood and Classified, and then there were some challenges that were like good to play on 9. There were some challenges that were good to play on Voyage, and then I think Blood and Classified were the best for headshots. So you had like 3, in some cases 4 of like the maps that are like good to play for camos, and like that probably would have been the same for Cold War if there was another map, but
Yeah.
there's
It,
not another map.
they could have at least given us 2. Like, we all complained about
Yeah,
the 4 on BO4 because they just weren't well done. Like, having 4 launch maps is way too much. Like, you're not going to be able to perfect all the maps if you have 4. If you have 2, on the other hand, you can probably get those 2 to be pretty good. And I would rather have 2 really good maps than 4 maps any day. And I would definitely rather have 2 decent maps instead of 1 like slightly better map. Like, I think D Machine is a good map. It's a
it's all
solid map.
right.
But I would rather have 2 maps that are slightly worse than D Machine than just D Machine.
Yeah,
Just
100%.
some content, man, something. Like,
And I mean, this is like the problem. Okay, so to your point about like a map with season 1,
mhm,
I like most people probably didn't see it coming. I mean, I think it would have revived the fucking game, don't get me wrong,
mhm,
but like we probably just didn't see it coming. My biggest issue with this, and something people like aren't realizing, they're trying to like, give like benefit of doubt, which by the way, like I know COVID and shit, like we do need to give them some sort of benefit of doubt to,
mhm.
but they are scheduling this as if we had like 2 launch maps. Like literally, let's compare this to BO3, BO2, BO1. All 3 of those games came with 2 maps. All 3 of them came out like November.
Yeah.
The first DLC was by end of January or at latest like second day into February. The problem with D Machine, we have a one fucking map. Sorry, I don't consider Dead Ops a map, but we have one fucking map, and we are not getting a map until late February. And that is literally like a 3.5 month span without a new map. Is that the longest we have gone without a new map?
Yeah, I think so because I just
Probably.
looked it up right here. For Black Ops 3, it came with Shadows of Evil, which is a much more expansive map, an interesting map than D Machine, first of all. And it also
Mhm.
came with the Giant. Well, you'd pay
Mhm.
$5, or if you pre-ordered it, came with the Giant, which is like a survival map. It's fun to play, and it's a different zombies experience from Shadows of Evil. So there was 2 maps to play. One very expensive map and one survival-ish kind of map. And DLC 1 came out on February 2nd. So early February. And this game came out, what, in November?
Yeah, November
Mitch's birthday, I think. Whenever
Oh,
Mitch's
oh
birthday
yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah, 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 you're right.
November 25th or something like that. I don't know.
What
But so,
the? That is not, no.
no?
No, it was like November 9th.
Okay, so early November. Early November, BO3 came out. Let's just say early November to early February. December,
I'm
January,
looking this up.
February. That's 3 months. That's 3 months between launch.
November 6th.
November 6th. Okay, so about 3 months. From launch to DLC 1 was 3 months. And that's with a very expansive launch map plus a survival sort of map. With so a lot of stuff to do. And I'm sure that was difficult to go that stretch with just 2 maps, going 3 months with only 2 maps. I'm sure that was difficult to do.
I
And
mean, it was, but I
like
mean,
the last
you could
month at least.
play both. Yeah, the last month was like a little, but like Shadows was pretty good. I
Mm-hmm.
think the biggest issue with BO3 launch was that Shadows was nowhere near the map. Now it was nowhere near as good because like they did make like a bunch of changes map. I remember like, at this time the Margwas were just annoying, and then like everyone's like, "No, I don't want to play. I'll go Giant."
Were we
Like
just
obviously you get
bad
Shadows here and
or
there. So it's like the Margwas, they work like nothing like to do that. Like I know like the Margwas, they have like 2 heads over like time, you can just kill them. Like launch Margwas, they have like one head open at a time. It was kind of hard to kill it. The hitbox was small. It was bad. It was bad.
that's a
So
monk ass, dude.
yeah, a lot of people resort to giants, and I think there's just like a bunch of like other changes. Like I can't really think of them in my head,
Well,
but
they had a glitch on launch where you could pack a punch the
oh, the
apothecant.
servant, yeah.
There was also a glitch where I think you could not get Margwas.
Was
Yeah,
it?
there was some sort of glitch where you could not get Margwas during the game, I believe.
God damn.
Yeah, and I don't think Waterfront was a strat at that time, so I don't. I think people didn't really understand the map, and this was the
That's true.
first time where there was a super complex launch map in Zombies history. Like this map was very complex, and Shadows of Evil would not appeal to someone like what we were talking about earlier, Tifu. I can guarantee
Oh
you they would not. It's very complicated. Pack a punching, and it's very linear, and we get it. But pack punching is not easy. You need zombie skill to do it, like being able to train, run around, not get killed. You need movement. You need map knowledge, and it's just overall not an easy thing to do. And it's also not very self-explanatory. So it wouldn't appeal to the casual community, and that's why they all went and played the Giant. Like I heard about that. Shadows of Evil was such a great launch map, but everybody was playing the Giant and loved the Giant.
yeah. And that's something like people don't remember for whatever reason. I don't know. Like yeah, like if I gotta say like Giant was like easily just played than Shadows because Shadows was in like a really rough spot. Now obviously if Shadows was like the spot like as is now as like it was like at launch, oh like we would definitely be like potential DLC one. But yeah, for BO3, I was like definitely content until like beginning of January. By like January time, I'm like, all right, I'm ready for a new map.
Mm-hmm.
But then like at that time, that was like the time where like they started like teasing the map, giving trailers.
Yeah,
That's like where like the hype builds up.
yeah. And
We
keep
don't have hype for Cold War.
no hype at all. And keep in mind, BO3 had about 2 times the amount of content as Cold War. Like Shadows of Evil plus the Giant is probably about 2 times as much as just D Machine content
Oh yeah,
wise.
easily.
And still, it's like almost a month later, like what is it, late February that the next
Yeah.
map is coming out. So you have to wait like 20 something days more for Cold War to play with half the content to play in between. You have to wait almost a month more with half the content. And just the decision to not bring a map for season 1 or even maybe fucking December or some sort of game mode that's actually interesting. It's just they blew it, man. They needed to give us something to hold us over between the time that season 1 came out and season 2, or just something, but they gave
Yeah.
us nothing. Like maybe more challenges, like those dark ops challenges, whatever they were. Maybe
Mhm.
more of those. Maybe some other sort of camo challenges, or some more weapons that we could mess with.
There are
Um,
new weapons, I'll say that, but none of them are good.
Unlocking a new Easter egg, maybe in D Machine. I don't even know, man. It's just like I'm not a developer, but
You don't like Jingle Hells?
I don't even know what Jingle Hells is. What is it?
Mike, you should totally play it for stream.
What is it?
Dude, 100. Okay, so you boot up the map, right? You see fucking budget Santa Claus inside. It's not the real one, the budget one, right?
Budget Santa Claus. Okay.
Budget Santa Claus, right? The Megaton. Um, so what's actually super fun about this game, and totally not a branded idea, they take away the mystery box from you. So you don't get to hit the box at all. So instead of what you get to do, have you ever played or watched BO4 Talking Tone, the last map?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know snowballs on the map?
Yes.
The snowballs
I
were
don't know what
like
to do with them, but I know I saw
okay.
them.
Well, so they're pretty much think of them as like grenades.
Mhm.
I mean, they're not actually like grenades, but you throw them at zombies. You have to
Mhm.
hit them.
Mhm.
Takes like 5 fucking snowballs, kill one zombie, and that's how you get your box weapon. So not only do you have to put all the effort into throwing 20 fucking snowballs at one zombie, and then you gotta hope it's something good.
So, are you like every zombie you kill you get a weapon, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And is the weapon RNG like a spin of the box like that or
Yes.
oh my god. Like you're telling me like normal box ray gun RNG. Like how horrible it
Probably.
is.
And think about like round
Oh.
one ray gun RNG.
Oh my god, that's disgusting, dude. That's terrible.
no, it's the best idea all time.
Oh
No,
my
it's
god.
comfy.
Treyarch is actually brain dead. Like I'm very surprised. I expected more from them. I expected more.
You
Oh my god. But
expected someone that wasn't brain dead? How could you?
like even with the mechanics the way they are, which I'm not a fan of. I could accept it if they gave us something. But the fact that the mechanics are garbo and that there's no content, like they just set themselves up for failure. And New Zombies is dead. New Zombies is dead. And it just comes back to the small community that we have between World at War to BO3, doing our own little thing with lower numbers than we had before because Cold War kind of like demotivated everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, they fucked us. They fucked us hard, man. Like, they just a combination of Cold War failing plus people not getting views because they're uploading Cold War or streaming Cold War and the lower views contributing to like streamer depression and stuff. It's just not a good time on Twitch. It really isn't. Like I'm enjoying myself right now because I found a new
Go
love
dirt.
for BO1. Yeah, I'm enjoying Darice. And this gauntlet is nice. But also the amount of people that are watching or playing in the gauntlet is probably like 500 maybe. That 500 people or so that watch or play in the gauntlet.
Okay, okay. Yeah, like watch it play. I was like, wait, what? Wait,
Yeah.
500 people playing?
And those small numbers like are nothing compared to
Oh, yeah,
everybody else who
500
plays
is
zombies. Yeah.
nothing at all.
It,
I mean,
it
sorry, it's not.
it's unfortunate, but I don't know, maybe next episode or something with Mitch, we can talk about like what are the next steps for zombies? Because Mitch, he decided to go variety streaming because he's been burnt out on zombies. So maybe we can talk about yeah, switching to other games, but also like for zombies, let's say you plan on sticking with zombies, which I do. What are the next steps? What can we do for growth? Is there really no room for growth? Or is there something else we can do? Is it the competitive scene? Are we going to rely on some RNG or what's going to
RNG.
happen?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, like where do you even go with that? I mean, like, do we almost have to just like chalk this game and just be like, okay, the next track launch is like our best chance, which is like, dude, that's in like at minimum 2 years, if not three. Like, if they bring back Sledgehammer or if Raven makes a brand new COD. We don't know.
I
We
think
don't.
this game is chalked. I think this
It's
game is
chalked.
chalked. But
You think it's chalked?
dude, yes, I don't think there's any hope anymore. I
I'll say this: like most Treyarch games rely on DLC.
yeah.
Most games do. If we can get a good DLC one, this game's back on track. We can make this like another fucking BO3. If DLC one's bad, this game's chalked.
But with the mechanics that are currently in Cold War, no matter how good DLC 1 is, it is going to be a camping map. It's going to be a camping map. No matter what it is. And I think that I mean, I can hope for the best, but I highly doubt that there is going to be some fun strat.
Well, I'll ask you this, okay? So if the pet house top of roof of Noctis
Mhm.
Strat had 2 spawns at the bottom. So it changed from a 3 spawn to a 5 spawn. They're jumping from that hole and they're running up that staircase. You kind of have your aim everywhere. Is the camping strat as viable with the super sprinters? Probably
No,
not, right?
but
So it's
you would
like,
find somewhere else though. I'm sure there's somewhere
eh,
else on the map. Like, think of
maybe the
Spawn.
tunnel.
The
Do
tunnel.
you know that like tunnel that like takes you to power? They have to like buy
Yeah,
either
yeah,
for
yeah. If you
job
left
or
that door
car.
closed.
Yeah. Well, no, not even like place we were camping. If you keep the jug one closed and open up the QR one, you have like more space in case like you fuck something up.
Wait, you can get in there without open. Oh, I've never
Yeah.
done that
You open.
before.
Yeah. No, I only did it like a couple times with like camo. Like it's kind of nice going for camos. I imagine it would be like a terrible house shot. Obviously, top of Noct is better, but
I think a trap strat would be fun, but I still find it
they don't
highly
have any fucking traps in the game, Mike.
No, I'm saying for DLC 1, man.
You think they're gonna add traps?
Well, and keep in mind also if there wasn't a camping spot like the one on the top of Noct, you would just probably use more chopper gunners. You would probably just end up using more chopper
Yeah.
gunners. You would camp, but you wouldn't be able to camp as long. And like think if there's a wonder weapon in the next map, like chances are it's going to be good. And if you have infinite wonder weapon ammo, because I'm assuming if you could buy ammo for the die and the ray gun from that little crate, you can buy it with whatever gun is next. So imagine there's a thunder gun, something like that, that good, or a waff that you can buy ammo for infinitely. Are you telling me that it's not going to be a camping strat?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I just
I mean,
think if there
yeah,
wasn't the top of Noct, there would be somewhere else. I'm sure they would find something. Just ask MC.
that's a good
He'll
point.
find
I'm
it for you.
just trying to find something in hopes that like it's a training strat, but
Maybe the Easter egg will be
yeah,
good. Maybe
yeah.
the Easter egg will be good.
Also, like the way the doors are set up, they could do something where, like, in theory, actually no, depending on like the way you look at it, it might be a good thing. Depending on like the way you look at it, it might be like a bad thing. But like,
Hmm.
okay, so imagine. So what if, let's say in D Machine in like Noct, when you buy the door either next to Stam or like the door that's like on the wall towards the camping strat, when you buy one of those doors, it buys the top of Noct.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you like yeah, so you automatically get rid of that, and then same thing for the tunnel. When you buy one side of the tunnel, it buys the other side. You got rid of the camping strats.
Hmm. And I think that's fine because when the game came
It
out,
worked.
when casuals were playing it, a lot of them were training. Like FaZe Blaze, remember his first 2P game? He was running trains and spawn.
Took him 5 days to get to around 150.
Yeah. Like
He
that's at
played
least
obnoxiously slow.
that's still accessible for casual players if it's like that. But it at least requires some bit of skill and is more entertaining than just sitting in a corner. But I guess it
Oh,
taking a long time is not good. But it's also more satisfying, I guess, because you know you put in more time and more effort.
yeah, you're putting in effort
Yes. Effort
on
is nice.
on the camping strat. Some people might have to, some others.
I mean, if you're brain dead like me, you'll have trouble with it. Like I only have a 50, but I've also only put in like a couple
Low key
hours on
same.
solo.
Yeah.
But do you have a 100 yet?
Oh yeah, yeah. I have multiple hundreds. I don't have like
Oh,
a
okay.
200 or anything.
Yeah. I
So
think if I actually put in the time, I mean, I think if I wanted to play the map, sure, I
yeah,
could get
you probably
a
grind out 200 to 300
400
plus.
plus, dude.
Yeah.
But I would rather like jump off a bridge than sit on the top of Noct camping with a ray gun. I would rather run in circles. I would rather run in circles with a goddamn jet gun, just shoot it a little bit and melee with my Galvanuckle for 10 hours to round 100 and fist denizens all day than camp at the top of Noct. I would rather do 100 restarts for perfect RNG on Origins just to fuck up as soon as I get that perfect RNG and restart another 100 times than camp at the top of Noct. I would literally rather do anything. Man, like I would rather do anything.
Yeah. Pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Um. So yeah, there's what we can all take from this is that there's a lot of problems with Cold War. There's a ton, and I mean the thing is that's like super like unfortunate. There's people asking for like, oh, this change, that change. Treyarch is not gonna do like an mechanics.
No.
The mechanics we have right now, we're gonna have forever. There's like never. There's only been like one time in Call of Duty there's ever been like an overhaul or something. That was like World War II and like multiplayer when they had like a division overhaul. If anybody remembers that, you might remember that.
I
I know
played a
I
lot of
do.
World War II, but what exactly are you talking about?
So like in like World War II with like divisions,
Mm-hmm. They all
they
had.
made stuff like almost like locked to that like certain class. So it's like for example, if you were using like the infantry, you
Mm-hmm.
would have like a bunch of benefits for like ARs, including like a bayonet on like the weapon.
Was it
And then
not
like
like that at the launch?
no, it was.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is that like it's like halfway they change it to where it's like the divisions were more like available for like all classes. Some of like those like lock stuff were made like attachments. Some of it was made like perks.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I do remember that now. I remember that now.
Also,
Yeah.
they made the game where you used to only be able to hold lethal or tactical, and then they made it to where you can carry.
Yes. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, that was a pretty big overhaul in
Oh yeah, easily.
mechanics, but also we've never seen that in zombies though. I don't think we've seen that in
Yeah, we
zombies.
never have, and probably never will.
Yeah, it's
Unless the game is like there's only like 5 people playing it, and then like they need to get everybody back, stuff like
yeah.
that. I don't know.
It's just they made the game with the mechanics that it has for a reason, and they spent a long time making those mechanics, I'm sure. And the only thing that they can do and will do would be patch glitches and like things that are like actually crashing the game and stuff like that. If they even freaking fix the crashes, but
That's like the craziest thing. It's like over the crash just hasn't really been fixed.
have they said anything about it? Like, are they acknowledging that people are
No,
crashing?
and it's like this is like a crazy. Okay, like BO4 launch, it was like a bunch of crashes, more than Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
Like crashing was bad. But they were very open about it, and they were like, "We're doing our best to fix it. This is at the top of our priority. We're doing our
Yeah,
best to fix it." It got fixed within like a couple weeks.
that's good.
They and that's like what like like a lot of people like, oh, BO4 is bad because there was a bunch of crashes at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, obviously that ruins the fucking launch of the game. Yes, but the fucking crashes at like the first week or two of the game make the overall game bad?
No, as
No,
long as they fix
it
it.
just yeah. It's just bad for that period of time, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cold War, it's almost been 2 months, and we're still having the exact same crashes that we had at launch. So we can barely use the D1 or the die one weapon. Excuse me. We can't use element pop.
That's so brain dead. You can't even use core
He gave the
things
Wonder
in the map.
Weapon.
Like
The Wonder
how
Weapon.
is the game so bad that you can't even use the wonder weapon and that you can't even use one of the perks, one of the new special perks that has never been seen before, and you can't even
It's like the
use it?
only new perk. The other 5 are just reused, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with like reused perks because like
Yeah,
they're all good.
and
I want them to
Deadshot's
come
actually
out.
good now for the first time
Yeah.
ever. Uh, it's
Treyarch.
I'm disappointed.
Questionable.
I know everybody told me you shouldn't have high expectations, and I really didn't. But you know, at some point, like I ended up getting high expectations for my channel, for the game, and it just didn't work out for pretty much any of us. And it sucks. It really does. Because we're here working our asses off every day, streaming, like trying to grow, trying to put out some good content, and we just we can't do it with the new game.
Yeah, just think about what the zombies community has went the last like 2 to 2.5 months. We went from one of our like some of like our peaks on Twitch. Zombies community was at a high to now the zombies community is at a low. A lot of us are experiencing zombies burnout.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure like every fucking like one of us is like experiencing it like to some degree or another. Some are even like leaving
Leaving
zombies.
zombies.
Mitch,
Yeah.
which is pretty. Shane's been talking about it. Like,
We have people that have been streaming zombies every day for so long. They're leaving. It's
yeah,
crazy.
I
Like
know.
somebody you know, one of the biggest small zombies creators, Mitch. He
Yeah,
has what like 6K or something on Twitch,
yeah.
and he's still gonna play zombies, but he's a variety streamer now.
It's not his main focus. His
Yeah,
main focus now is just stream whatever the fuck he wants, which is props to him.
yeah. GG's for
He
that.
finally he made that jump, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know like about like you. I mean, like I know my biggest thing is just like I mean, not to go on like too big of a tangent, but gaming is just fucking stale. Like, not only is zombie stale, there's nothing to fucking play.
Yeah,
Like just in general, there's literally nothing. Mike, okay, let's say you get burned on Reese, and
mhm.
let's say you don't like want to play zombies. What game do you go to? You have no fucking idea, do you?
Well, I don't play many games. Besides, I pretty much only
I
play
know.
COD. But if I wasn't playing COD,
Fortnite.
I would probably play Fortnite. Yes.
Uh,
I mean, I'm not into story games. I would probably find some sort of FPS game, maybe Valorant. I mean, that's not my kind of game either. Maybe oh, Rainbow Six Siege seems kind of interesting, but yeah, I mean, I would probably get into emulation, play some Pokemon emulator.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. And I've always wanted to play racing games, but I don't have a steering wheel. I want to get a steering wheel, pedals, and a shifter and stuff, but that stuff is way overpriced right now, so I can't get it.
Uh,
But I definitely would play that. I don't think anybody would watch it for my stream, but I would definitely want to play it.
yeah. You might turn to like a 3 viewer Andy, but yeah, fun.
Yeah, baby Totodile, that's the move. Baby Totodile, we got that.
Baby toy now. What a homie.
Yeah. All right, man. That I think that's gonna wrap up the podcast for the day. Do you got
Yeah,
anything?
we kind of went over everything.
Yeah, that was a big one, man. 1 hour 43.
Holy shit! We
Yeah.
grinding.
Yeah, we're bringing this content out, man. Got to get those
Yeah,
watch hours on the YouTube channel. Maybe we can get that YouTube partnership soon.
probably not.
Get that one. Maybe once we get Lex on the podcast, you know.
Give me a kappa. Give me a kappa.
Should I at Lex on Twitter about
No,
coming on our podcast?
no, absolutely not.
Should I at Russian on Twitter?
Not yet.
Should I at Mitch?
I mean, I would say yes, but we kind of already have DMs with him, so like,
Yeah.
Now you're just overdoing it.
2 days, man. 2 days. We will be doing our interview with Mitch. You guys aren't going to see this in 2 days. Whenever this
Yeah.
comes out, you're going to see it a week later, our next episode. But Nick's going
Well,
away this week.
yeah,
So.
I'm gonna be on family vacation, so yeah, we're gonna have to well, this episode's like already pre-recorded. This will go up later this week. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. We don't know when yet, but and then yeah, it's Mitch's episode. Unfortunately, we have to pre-record. But we can also talk about our next guest, and I want to talk about it now because I don't want to take away from Mitch next week.
Mm-hmm.
So our next guest for the next episode in a few weeks will be the homie Shane.
Shane, my
Ye-
dude.
Let's go. And I've been talking to Shane in private, bro. He seems pretty excited. This guy, like our episode with Shane will be fucking like seriously. It will be a long episode.
Do you want to preview some of the topics we'll talk about with him, or do you want to wait?
We should. We could preview the topics we're talking about, but
Okay.
well, actually, I don't know. Well, I mean, wait, are we gonna change it? That we're like we're gonna talk about Mitch, or are we sound?
I think we're set. I think those things really apply to him, and I think that would
Yeah,
be
that's
something
true.
interesting
And
to talk about.
that's something we want. So for everyone
Mhm.
like listening, for our guests, we're gonna make sure like the topics are like appropriate for them.
Yeah.
Because we're not just like gonna like have them like a podcast and we talk about something random that doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to go over topics we're gonna be talking about with Mitch?
All right, all right. So we have like 5 topics, which is a lot, but I'm not really sure how long each of the topics are gonna go because this is our first time ever having a guest on the podcast. But we're gonna talk about initially casual versus competitive playing zombies because Mitch has always identified as a casual, even though he's a super skilled player. So I thought that would be something really interesting to talk to him about because his goals for zombies are different than somebody like me. Um, Even though our skill level is similar. And then we'll talk about burnout on zombies. And he's experiencing some burnout with zombies just like all of us. So I think me, Nick, and him could have a perspective on that. I think it would be interesting to talk about. And that leads to something called streamer depression, where basically when you're not getting views or numbers and your stream just isn't going well, then you kind of get in a bad mood. You kind of feel negatively about yourself, about your stream, and it's just not a good place to be. And that will lead into Mitch's decision to move on to variety streaming. So he's not just going to be playing zombies anymore. He's going to be playing a bunch of different games, which we're very happy for him. I think that's a smart move from him. Do what's best for you, my dude. You got to stay healthy, you got to be happy, and if you're streaming something you don't like, then there's no point. And
100%.
yeah, and the last topic, which is kind of off topic from that, but Mitch grew a lot on Twitch with pretty much nothing. Like all he used was his Xbox, and he streamed from his Xbox to Twitch. He didn't even have a computer with an Elgato. He just had his gameplay and his mic, and that's about it. And he got up to like 3,000 followers with just that. So I thought that talking about growing on Twitch with a low budget would be a really important topic to ask his opinion on that. And I don't know how much Nick spent, but I spent a decent amount on my PC setup over time. And yeah, it'd be a really interesting topic for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's kind of it for this podcast. We'll probably the Mitch episode will probably be going up from whenever this goes up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we can't fucking wait to have Mitch on. He's the fucking. We can't wait to have Shane on as well. He's also the fucking homie. And so yeah, guys, look forward to that. But that'll be it from me and the big Michael. And I'm not pointing at him; he's over there. Yeah, that's kind of it. We appreciate you guys listening to this. If you guys made it all the way to the end, but also, I mean, if you only watched, we also appreciate that. Seriously, we really do. Anything else you want to add for the end?
Yeah, make sure to go subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. This is going to be premiering on my channel, and it's going to be uploaded there, and also it's going to be uploaded to Nick's channel. All of our links are going to be in the description. If you're on my video, you can click on Nick's link. If you're in Nick's video, you can click on my link. And also make sure to go click on our Anchor FM link, which is super important for us because we not only want to grow on YouTube, we also want to grow on other listening platforms such as Spotify and Anchor. And when our podcast is finally uploaded to iTunes podcast, I think that's going to be pretty big for us too. So make sure if you guys just want to listen to the podcast, go click on the Anchor FM link. It'll give you all the options where you can listen to it and pick whatever option you want. And if you're just driving in the car and you want to listen to a podcast, or you're just working out or hanging out, whatever you want, make sure to listen to it there. We would really, really appreciate the support. And lastly, make sure to go follow us on our other social media. We both have Twitch, NicZombies on Twitch, and the Big Mike 24. And follow us on Twitter. All these links are going to be in the description. We're going to have some timestamps below. I know if you're already here, you probably watched the whole thing or just skip to the end, but you can click on those timestamps if you want to go find a certain topic we talked about. And please leave any recommendations in the comments below. Tell us if you have any guest requests, if you have any questions. We'll do our best to answer them in our next podcast or sometime soon. And we always respond. We're always on Twitter, on Discord, on YouTube. So if you guys want to ask us anything, talk to us, feel free to. Don't be scared. We do not bite. All right.
That is very true. All right. Well, peace, guys. See you next one.
Later. Peace.